$8 a gallon.
A unique tradition usually found in small towns is slowly going silent all across the country. The village of Thiensville, the latest to end a practice of sounding a noon alarm every day. Part of the reason none of the village leaders knew why they were doing it. Well, tonight we set out to answer that question. In southern Ozaukee County, there is no shortage of small town charm in the village of Thiensville. From quaint streets and picturesque river shores, to take part in one of the oldest traditions here, there is no need for a good view, just a set of ears. Every single day as the clock strikes noon,
it's always been part of our normal day-ish of the alarm going off and me telling the kids, okay, it's lunchtime.
Blaring from near the village center.
It always scares me at first, like, oh my gosh, and then you know, I think it's a cool thing.
The village's tornado siren marks the middle of the day.
It's announcing its presence, and in a communal way.
Village President Van Mobley is a big fan.
And it tells people that the village is vigilant. And the village is vigilant. It always has been.
Others are less enthused.
I feel like the noon whistle has always been a bit annoying.
Village trustee Christina Eckert, who lives and works near the tower from which the horn blares, admits she was once indifferent to its existence. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you hate the daily signal?
It annoyed me, but I would say probably like a 7.
Indifferent until one of her constituents came forward with a question and a request.
Can you tell me why this whistle goes off every day at noon? And I went, I can't. I don't know. She goes, well, would you please find out, because I'd really like it to stop.
Despite its daily arrival,
no one really knew why we did. I certainly didn't.
Eckert asked fellow village leaders, what was the point?
So I brought it up at the next village board meeting, and it was literally everybody in the room had the same look I did. Like, I don't know, it's just always been that way.
Without knowing why it happened, Eckert made the request for the alarm to stop. The vote was unanimous. The decades-long daily custom, silence. Turns out,
there's a lot of love for this horn.
Thiensville's tradition is not wholly unique. On the edge of cornfields in Racine County,
it's part of our character, it's part of the fabric of what Union Grove is.
The village of Union Grove is so connected with their daily alarm.
So we have the noon horn, which historically was for the factory workers and the farmers.
Village President Steve Wakeland explains there's not just one.
No, we have 2.
Each day as the sun goes down, the 9 p.m. alarm marks the end of the day.
The 9 p.m. horn, just let everybody know, hey, it's time to go home.
But why does the tradition exist? Despite being among the most tested tornado sirens in the country, Wakeland says the origin of these daily alarms have nothing to do with the weather.
Without traditions, what are we?
Their history aligned with another structure in town, the firehouse. Today, first responders used radios, pagers, and cell phones. Prior to their existence, when help was needed in a small town, bells were rung.
That was universally to call for assistance for people to come down to the village fire station.
Since the vote in his village, Mobley has done his homework on their alarms history.
The bells during when the threat of nuclear war was at its height, that's when they adopted the siren or the horn.
Then when they got pagers later on in life, that kind of went away.
The need for horns to summon volunteers may have disappeared, but blaring them did not. Many communities eventually moved their alarms to be part of early warning weather systems. In Thiensville,
This wasn't charming. It wasn't a ding, ding, ding.
That's part of the reason there is no love lost by Eckert with the noise she helped mute. But the daily alarm may not be silenced for long.
I keep that in my back pocket for the time being.
Mobley says despite the vote, it's not binding. As village president, he says he has the power to bring it back.
Maybe we can dial it back a little bit and keep it for a longer period of time. Or maybe we'll just put it back and Christina will have to adjust.
I still don't know exactly why Thiensville needed to do it every single day.
In the meantime, for those yearning for the days of old,
I still get it on Saturdays.
The daily siren has been replaced by a weekly test on the weekend. A siren whose future will likely depend on the volume made by villagers. Well, some things of note. Van Mobley, the Thiensville Village president, he voted with other trustees to mute the daily alarm, saying he was avoiding a fight at the time. But again, he would like to now bring it back. Down in Union Grove, they recently got a reminder of the community support for their alarm when it actually broke. Their village president says messages started to flood in until he went down and actually fixed the issue himself. So, Steph, noon alarms, they're disappearing kind of slowly all over the country, but they're not always at noon. I mean, in Thiensville, many years ago, it was actually a 5 o'clock alarm. Down in Union Grove, obviously, they've got this very unique 9 p.m. alarm.
That's late.
Yeah, part of the reason of the history, that used to be the curfew in the village. They moved the curfew to 10 p.m., and I think everybody in Union Grove's like, 9 p.m.'s late enough.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to wake the babies at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's already going to wake them at 9 o'clock.
It was interesting to kind of go through the history, obviously closely connected with the fire departments, and you got one community in Union Grove who says don't get rid of it, Thiensville. It'll be interesting what the conversation is now that they do realize what the history is. I don't think Christina Eckert's changing her mind.
True.
You kind of understand for people who live close to these alarms, they're loud.
Yeah.
They startle you, but they do have some history.
You can understand both sides. I think for most of us, we probably don't even pay attention or even notice. And then when it does go silent, you're like, wait a second, I think there's something missing.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's a small town thing. I mean, I grew up in Connecticut with a noon alarm. There was one, there still is one in my town.
Yeah.
But, you know, as communities change and the alarms have gotten louder, they're now tornado sirens, they're starting to go away. So, but they're out there still in some communities. I don't know all of the communities in southeastern Wisconsin that still have one. So let us know if your community is still doing it every single day. Love to hear from you.
Props to you if you have one, right? Love it.